Hello and welcome to Trails to Azure Part 49. Today will be East Street and the quest therein, and then I think probably going through downtown, because I assume this quest is not going to take that long, but I mean I also assumed that the fashion show quest wouldn't take nearly as long as it did, so well, beauty pageant is different than fashion show. Yeah. Now I need to talk to all the people in East Street, then do the quest that's in the inn, and then just continue. I wonder if there's anything I can do to help everyone. Maybe I should go downtown and ask Ozzy. I heard Ozzy was helping his gang with the reconstruction efforts in the downtown district. Working for the good of others? The old Ozzy never would have done that. He's gone and made his big sister so proud of him. She always just stands here. Okay, hopefully all these changes of clothes I packed for Fran will be enough. Oh, I know. I should bring her some fresh fruit to snack on. Mom, you're home. Didn't you say you were going to visit Fran earlier today? That's right. I got back just recently. Thank heavens she's awake again. We really owe it to that inspector from the 2nd Division for keeping her safe. The way they phrase that, the inspector's probably not dead. Yeah, I'll have to go and give him my thanks. Make sure you do. My family in Arabonia was worried about me, so they sent me a letter. What a catastrophe! After a catastrophe like that, I'd like to return home soon myself. Perhaps I should consult the main office about this. I mean, if they're a good company, they'd definitely let you go home for a bit. My company's office was in the IBC. But as you know, it's now burnt to a crisp. It shouldn't be a surprise that we're closed for business for the time being. No one was hurt, so it should only be a matter of time before we're up and running again. But still, what a mess. I saw it. The giant monster that rampaged through the downtown district. Oh, it was just dreadful. When did Crossbow become such a terrifying place to live? Meow. Meow. Let me talk to the kid. Maria and I might go to the charity event later. They said there'll be lots of pretty girls there. We should be there too. Ha ha ha. Funny. Except that event's over. But whatever. I'll talk to people up there later. Is there anything here about the Bracer Guild? There is not. I made loads of wooden utensils to help with the soup kitchen they set up in the downtown district. I know it's not much, but I wanted to do what I could to pitch in. I went to Mass earlier to pray to Eidos. Hopefully peace comes back to Crossbell soon. Well, there will be another big event before that, probably, but it's not much of a silver lining. But at least East Street was lucky enough to avoid any real damage. Too bad I can't say the same for the downtown district. That rampaging demon left the place devastated. They're already working on repairing the area. Who knows how long that'll take. I donated some vegetables from my stall to that charity event at the Civic Center. The Business Owners Association is sponsoring it, after all. I owe them a great deal. Not to mention, I want the city folk to feel better just as much as anyone else. I should probably buy all this stuff soon. Cause yeah, if each is 10,000, very over exaggerated, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 23 items, so it would at most be 230,000. But it won't be. I'm gonna do this, and if it gets me too low, I can just sell Sepith. Because yeah, I just want to buy all this stuff. Because having to actually decide actual numbers is a lot more annoying than pressing left a couple times. And it will mean, if I actually have the ingredients, I'll actually use the cooking mechanics that exist in the game, which I never use. Until, it's the only time I used them in like 0 was, oh, the game's almost over. Time to get the quests that require cooking all of these, like, that's the only time I used any of it. Yeah, that only took 120,000. Because yeah, like, now if I want to cook something, I just kind of can for most of these. What does this do? I want to look for a revive. 20% in revive is pretty good. Evasion plus 15 is situationally useful. That's just, ooh, 20% EP restore is not bad. Ooh, an arts buff is useful. You'll see how much it uses clear gelatin that I don't have an infinite purchase supply of. A bunch of these would be pretty good to get more CP restore. Beast flesh though. I know you can trade purchasable ingredients for at least some of these. Ah yes, decent, keyword being decent heal. Alongside a revive, I think is worth making a few of. It's not a great heal. There's the cat food I needed in chapter 2. What is this? What is this one? I didn't even actually pay attention to who was actually good at cooking it. Ooh, he's definitely good at cooking it, yeah. Ooh, 40% heal, which for Randy would be 4,000, I think, which is pretty good, and plus 50 strength for Randy. Like, that would be pretty good. Because it would heal Randy for 4,000, and it would be almost 543 if it rounds up strength. That's a lot. I didn't talk to her. Those rambunctious kids in the red tracksuits wound up injured during the raid. At least one of them should be dead. It's worrisome, to say the least. I'm wishing them a quick recovery. I mean, all of them should be dead. Like, there's no logic behind them surviving that attack. The men in my house are on leave from work because of the raid. Though, frankly, having them all at home makes doing the chores twice as hard. I suppose I should be thankful they're helping out more than they used to, at least. I talked to these folks. Oh, they're not going to be here. Wait. Okay, no, he's not going to be here because he's busy. If you're looking for Morris, he's at the Civic Center. The Business Owners Association is hosting a charity event, you see. Apparently, Roy will be assisting with it. But, well, let's just say I hope it goes alright. That's pretty funny. It will soon be time to fish, but so I don't think there's any reason to talk to anyone here. But maybe one of the Elite Four are in, but they're not, so... Yeah. Lake Lord won't have anything... Actually, maybe she'll have something useful to say. Yeah, no. They're just, like, totally ignoring all the events that happened. Like, the entire Fisherman's Guild is isolated from the world. They don't react to the current events at all. Which, like, is fine, but it's weird in the general gameplay. Oh, hey there, guys. I got a quick question for you. Have you seen Arios around lately? Yeah, actually. We ran into him at the cemetery earlier. He was paying a visit to his late wife's grave. Why? Has something happened? Well, He went off to Orcus Tower a bit ago to discuss the guild's plans with the mayor. The thing is, his Enigma 2 ended up getting busted during the raid. We've been too busy dealing with the aftermath to give him a new one. It was a bit of a pain keeping in contact. Their meeting should be done by now, so I've just been waiting for him to get his Divine Blade butt back here already. And he still hasn't, huh? Mm-hmm. But at least now I know he went to the cemetery. I suppose it's not unusual for him to visit Saya's grave. He'll probably be returning soon enough. Sorry for bugging you guys. Nothing to worry about here. Right, we'll just be going then. I'm gonna, out of curiosity, see if he'll react to me talking to him after talking to Mr. Guild. Michelle. I wonder if he'll react differently now. I assume, I give it 50-50 that he behaves differently. And he's not there anymore. So that is a response to my 50-50. He has changed positions. Arya stopped by to say hello not too long ago. We don't share drinks anymore, the way we did in the good old days. But even still, that man hasn't changed a bit. That I think I already talked about. I really wonder where Arios is. If he's not back at the guild, maybe there was a trigger of if I talk to him there and then there, it will trigger him to go to the guild or something, but if he's not at the guild now, then I want to find him. Which is distracting me from the actual, what I meant to do today. Okay, let's check if he's at the guild now. If he isn't, I'm going to have to remember that I want to search for him. Yeah. I think I want to search for him. Because he's not there anymore. For today, I'm going to limit myself to maybe 7.5 minutes of searching for him in places that might be interesting. So if he was there, he could be further up the Mines Mountain path, which I would cover later, actually. Maybe what I'll do is do a very quick run through of Crossbell City, starting from the residential area, checking in at places, and then when I'm doing my run around the outer sections, I'll check in various locations. I'll check here actually, because there's a chance he could be right up here. I could have gone to Orcus Tower directly. They're still here. Same old, nothing new. Yeah, Arios has to be somewhere. Oh, is Neil? Yep, Nielsen's over there on the left with his knowledge. Rather convenient that it was there before it got destroyed. And then perhaps I'm overthinking it is one of those like, oh, but don't worry too much. Just assume that he's wrong. That's all that is. Yeah, I haven't seen Arios anywhere. My assumption is if he is somewhere and not just disappeared from the map, he'll be on the Mines Mountain Path Road. But if he isn't on that road, then I have no guesses as to where he would be. Because I'm assuming he's not going to be in a random location. He's going to be somewhere that makes sense for him to be. And I don't know where that is. So I was going to go for longer, but since I checked the places that I could think of, and I'll leave outlying roads for later, I'll just continue with the questing and talking to people before. I have to talk to these people and then I have to go, I guess, into one of the rooms back here for the quest for O Father, Where Art Thou? Which is looking for the dude. I can't remember his name because he's not important. The guy that was living in the downtown district. I pass through Tangram Gate when I'm making deliveries. Things are a lot tenser there than usual right now. They're watching travelers more closely, too, whether inbound or outbound. It looks like reconstruction efforts in the downtown district are underway. Maybe I should go down there and find a way to help. Downtown's close by. A few unlucky strokes and East Street could have wound up in ruins, too. These guys have nothing ever worth buying, yeah. See, I already have a ton of Peerless fried rice. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. Finn is helping with the charity event at the Civic Center today. In the meantime, I'll be filling in for him as Master's kitchen assistant. This is my chance to make myself as useful as I can. I can't believe my Shenshen would participate in a pageant without telling me. The last I heard, she had refused Roy's invitation. Who is responsible for this? I will butcher them limb from limb with my cleaver. We'd better zip our lips. Haha. I'll have the champagne and fireworks ready for when he finds out, though. No. Talking to them later. No one here, so I'll talk to them now. Gotta save regularly. Look at this. Look at the baby. Look at that baby. Apparently, yeah. So, I checked it a couple last week at some point. Armand was a character in Trails in the Sky, first chapter in the prologue. Like, it's been a long time. Sleeping baby. There. Look, Armand, he's fast asleep. He sure is, Ellie. Our little boy is sleeping like the angel he is. And again, his mother is one too, so I'm hardly surprised. Oh, Armand. Sorry for interrupting, but would you happen to be Armand? Who is asking, if I may? We're with the Crossbow Police Special Support Section. We're here to respond to the support request you submitted. I mean, this is the type of request that they would absolutely submit to the Bracer Guild. Oh, so you're the ones. Thank heavens you're here. This is wonderful, Armand. It's finally happening. You're right, Ellie. I've put so much on your shoulders ever since you gave birth to our baby. It makes me feel just awful not being able to do more for our family. Now, Armand, you told me you wouldn't say things like that anymore. Don't you remember the promise we made that first time we held him together? No matter what happens, we're going to get through this together. You, me, and our precious baby boy. How could I ever forget? Oh, Ellie, how I love you. I love you too, Armand. It's hard to get a word in with these two lovebirds. It's as if they're off in their own little world. I'll say. Apologies for interrupting the two of you again. But do you think you could tell us more about your request? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry about that. We'd like you to search for a certain someone. I know this is a little sudden, but do you think you could commit to our request first, before we continue? That is such an it's like, oh, you'll commit to our request, but their request is hunting down a child that has no relation to them. Like, instantly that'd be like actually no, bye. Help the lovebirds. I would much rather fly the coop, but understood. Just leave it to us. You really mean that? We're saved! Ellie and I have been at a total loss this entire time. Oh, this is lovely news, Armand. I can't tell you how happy I am. Goo goo. Well, look at that, Ellie. I get the feeling Armin feels just the same. Imagine being named Armand and naming your kid Armin. You know, I think you're right, dearest. The details, please. Right. Excuse us for that. I'll get right to explaining. Nice work, Dio. A never-ending Gehenna of watching them fawn over each other awaited us otherwise. Personally, I wouldn't have minded seeing them continue their amorous little asides. Now then, the person I'd like you to search for is my father. I was separated from him at a very young age. That must mean it's been decades since you last saw each other. Correct. My family and I currently live in Liberal. But as a child, I lived in Crossbell. However, after my parents were divorced, I went to live with my grandparents on my mother's side in Liberal. Why would, if he was living with his grandparents with his mother, that would make sense. I understand that there's situations that are impactful, but if he was living with just his grandparents and not his mother, that would be rough, I think. Which, I mean, it's the exact same thing that happened with Ellie, but I thought for sure I'd never see my father again. But you see, Armand and I recently had our first child, this little bundle of joy. When that happened, Armand said he wanted his father to meet his new grandchild, no matter what. That's quite a story. He may have had problems with my mother, but to me, he'll always be my one and only father. I want to show him the happy family we've built together. So, we packed our bags and let my mother know we were going to Crossbell. However, let me guess, you don't have any leads on where your old man is these days, yeah? Exactly. I thought he owned an estate in the residential district, but he disappeared without a trace. I asked my mother about it, but she hasn't heard a word from him since the divorce. Are they saying that the abandoned old building was his old estate? Though it might actually just be there were more residential buildings that we just don't have access to. That's probably what it was. Hence why we're mounting a search. Armand and I have asked many different people for clues as to his whereabouts. From what we've gathered, he moved to the downtown district after being hospitalized. But every time we go there, he's nowhere to be found. Maybe it was just bad timing? Like he was out buying groceries every time you stopped by? That seems like a stretch, especially after we talked to him and he was like, oh no, they're coming for me. Fortunately, our team is familiar with both the residential and downtown districts. Ellie, do you know, we already know exactly who it is, come on. Ellie, do you know of anyone who lives in the residential district who matches his description? Not that I'm aware. Could I ask you for your father's name and profession, Armand? Sure, I tried asking my mother, but she didn't know if he was still working at the same job he used to. His name is Gable, and he was a member of the Crossbell Diet. Representative Gable? That trash bag? That guy, huh? You mean you know him? Yes, we ran into him during a request a couple of months ago. In that case, we should start by visiting Lotus Heights downtown to see what we can learn. That's what I was thinking. We might find some clues as to why he hasn't been home. Thank you. I just know it was fate that led you to accept our request. We're counting on you. Find my father for us. Yes, please do. We'll do everything we can. This is one of the weird parts about these games. To me, like, they explicitly spell out who it is that we're looking for, when if you paid attention to all the stuff throughout the game, you would know exactly who they're looking for. Because it's like, he was in the hospital, he moved to the downtown district, if you talked to him before, you would know exactly who it is, Like, that stuff is, they spell it out for you, but then there's like, oh, the only way to get all the books for the super weapons is if you happen to have enough ingredients to make cat food. You get lucky enough or unlucky enough to make the cat food so that you can feed it to a random cat that you only have one opportunity to meet. Like, it's such a difference that it's frustrating. 'Cause like these quests could easily be like, oh, find it yourself. and it wouldn't be that bad. Obviously, if you missed stuff earlier, it would be bad, but... The door is locked. Mr. Gable, are you home? I guess he's out. He must be. This is his apartment, after all. What's going on here over here? Oh, if it isn't the SSS. Back again on business, I take it. Morning, Tanth. Would you happen to know where our favorite former Diet member has run off to? I haven't seen him in about a week. Is he at the hotel? Why? Is he in some kind of trouble? Not exactly, no. Explain the situation. You're telling me that boy came all the way from Liberal to look for him? Well, how about that? Gable is one lucky father. Have you met Armand before? Sure did. He and his wife dropped by the apartment last week and we had ourselves a chat. Thing is, Gable had already run off by that time. He didn't bother telling me where he was headed. And I didn't think to ask. He could be in Armorica. I think someone at some point mentioned Armorica. Damn. Face first into a dead end. This isn't going too great. Now hold on just a moment. There might be someone who knows what happened. Who? A man who lives over on West Street. He helped Gable out when he was still a member of the Diet. Even after Gable moved in, he stopped by to check in on him all the time. He lives at Villa something. That's the name of his apartment. Villa Raisin. This is merely a wild assumption, but I speculate the name is only partially correct. Yeah, but I think I have an idea of where he means if the place is on West Street. We appreciate your help, Mr. Tance. Don't mention it. You can thank me by helping Armand and his wife get in contact with Gable. It's kind of an interesting line to draw. Like, who could it be? Like, the only person that I can think of would be either the old, well, it's obviously either the old man or the architect. But like, which is more likely? If I had to guess, the old man feels more likely, but he's too helpful. I'm gonna guess it's this guy. Nope. It's the other guy. Oh, if it isn't the SSS. How can I help you? Sorry to barge in like this, sir. We just wanted to ask, does the name Gable ring any bells for you? Oh, you know the man? Yes, Gable was an old protege of mine back when we were in the Diet. Bingo. Well, you see, explain the situation. I see. So they put in a request for you then. For you, did they? You're in luck. Gable visited me just the other day, asking for the best place to lay low in Crossbell. It's gonna be either Mines or Armorica, is my guess. What a numbskull. Who does he think he's running away from? His son and the lovely new family he started? I can only assume that this means you know of his whereabouts. But why is the guy hiding, anyhow? Doesn't make a lick of sense to me. Seriously, Armand and Ellie just want him to see their baby boy. Well, far be it from me to speak on his behalf, but... never mind. I'd best stay out of this one. Excuse me. But if you want your answers, he should be over in Armorica Village. You'll find him there somewhere. Then you can ask him why he's being such a big chicken yourselves. Understood. And thank you for your cooperation. Okay, team. Our former diet member is hiding in our Morica. Let's get going. Ready when you are. I don't want to go to our Morica now. Because our Morica is where I'm going to have to visit again later to talk to people. Maybe I'll go there and talk to them now. Whatever. I'll just get the talking with people done with. Because if I go here and talk to him now, I'll just talk to all the other people while I'm here. Oh, they're going to be talking about the truck? I've been scared to go out on the roads ever since the raid on Crossbell. Oh, they aren't talking about the truck. Duty calls, though. It's times like these that we've got to do what we can to keep the village safe. We've been taking turns patrolling the village ever since the raids. After what happened in mines, in the city, there's no guarantee our village is safe either. All of us have to do everything we can to protect one another. Interesting. Okay, we've made it to our Morica. Now, where could Gable be hiding? Let's check out any places that might be suspicious. I mean, he could be at the inn, right? It would be wise to speak to the villagers as well. I mean, my guess is either the mayor's house or the inn. Like, I'm not going to talk to anyone. Because I don't want their meaningless discussions. If he's not at the inn... Oh, it's her and him. If he's not at the inn, the only other place that I could guess would be reasonable would be, like, the village chief's house, but it's not the village chief's house. I'm gonna try doing it without talking to anyone, but I'm sort of feeling like it's gonna force me to talk to someone for him to appear. Oh, he's in here. What a goofball. Lloyd, what's on your mind? I could swear the shed wasn't locked the last time we were here. That sound just now. There's totally someone in there. I concur. I'm glad they didn't force me to talk to people hunting down this old man. Well, isn't that suspicious? Let's continue gathering information for now. Come on! Like... one of the villagers might have an idea of what's going on. We know exactly... like, I know it's plot reasons that we know that it's him in there, but, like, where else could he be? He could be in here. He could be in here. Or he could be in here. And that's about it. Like, they're gonna force me to talk to all the villagers to locate him, despite the fact that I already know where he is. News of the raid on the city has left our little village anxious. The prevailing rumor is that it was some sort of imperial conspiracy, but without evidence, I'm loath to believe it. In any case, the best we can do for now is to protect our Morica and its surroundings. See, now that's a healthy attitude. Very healthy attitude. No wonder he's the village chief and not his son. Derek and Elkin took it upon themselves to patrol around the village. Supposedly, there were some unusual monsters spotted nearby. I do hope they're being careful. That would be referring to these ones. The ancient battlefield anomalies. Because the ancient battlefield is nearby. Stefan finally came back to the village. I hope he comes out to play soon. Stefan. Some scary people went on a rampage in the city the other day. This village is so boring that I'd always wish something would happen to liven things up. But getting hit by a raid? That's just messed up. So Stefan, is it a fake out? Is the guy in there the guy named Stefan? Or is Stefan Gable's name? Is his name Stefan? That would be interesting. Okay, one more loop there. I'm downright floored that the city was raided the way it was. And as if that weren't bad enough, the perpetrators are still at large. Can't help but worry that our Morica could be next. I heard the damage caused by the raid was significant. Oh, Oh, would you listen to me? I've got to stop talking about this before it throws me into the doldrums. It's times like these we've got to do what we can to put on a smile and keep life moving. So I'm wondering if I have to talk to them. Wait, something about felines? Had me like a flying feline on a hot tin roof. I'm gonna talk to the mayor one more time, just on the off chance that he has another set of dialogue. No. Okay. I think this is lame. I got to visit the city during the festival earlier this year. It was such a beautiful and captivating place. Wrong button. I made so many wonderful memories there. So I'll never forgive those thugs for what they've done to it. With any luck, the police and CGF will have them in cuffs in one way or another. Apologies. Yeah. I mean, they're definitely not going to be in cuffs. Because they're already gonzo. But who do they expect me to talk to? I flipped through the latest edition of the Crossbow Times more than thrice at this point. As shocking as the raid was, the article detailing Ilia's injury was the most harrowing of all. As a fellow crossbowman, I pray that she makes a full recovery. I never actually did read the ones in Zero, but... Is this the one I read at the start of the chapter? It isn't the same one. Interesting. So what we read at the start of the chapter wasn't... Oh no, this is the one? Yes, this is the one we read at the start of the chapter. Whereas this one is newer. Floating day. Yeah, no, that's actually interesting. Of course, this is the one we have to talk to. Oh, hello. Will you be staying with us tonight? We do have some rooms available. If Gable came to lay low in Armorica, there's a good possibility of him staying at the inn, except we already checked each of the locations, and we already know he's not in the inn because I can look visibly. This is an issue with the writing. It's not flexible enough for these types of events. I wish it was. Excuse me, we have a question for you. Is there someone named Gable staying here by any chance? Oh, Gable. He stops by to grab a bite to eat every so often. Only to eat? You mean he isn't renting a room at the inn? Nope, he's never checked in with us. At least not as far as I remember. I figured he just liked our food enough to keep making trips out from the city. Which is actually totally reasonable, because there's only like, what? I think they established there's like a half-hour bus ride, which like is pretty far. But if the food's good enough, a half-hour bus ride back isn't that bad. Yeah, I wouldn't be so sure, bud. Something else is going on here. Maybe he has a relative in the village he's been staying with? If that were the case, Armand would have known to come here already. I think I've got a hunch. Let's go speak with Chief Tolta. He may know something about all this. Huh. It's almost like he's the one I tried to talk to already. But the writing is not flexible. Mom and I went to go check on stuff in the city. Oh, Stefan. This is the one they were talking about, I think. Luckily, all my old friends and neighbors were safe. Mom was worried sick the whole time. Honestly, it was a relief for both of us. What happened to the city is beyond my wildest nightmares. Thankfully, my friends are safe. But still, there were so many victims. I can only pray nothing like that ever happens again. I mean, within a matter of days, something like it's gonna happen again. Maybe not in Crossbell proper, but... Anyway. I already talked to these two. I haven't talked to them yet. Jake suddenly found a burst of motivation a little while ago. It's as if he's a whole new man. He's still a greenhorn, of course, but I'm a lot less worried about his future now. I'll teach him everything I know, and one day, we'll finally put up a Jake's General Goods sign. Still nothing worth buying? Yeah. Hello, welcome to Roar General Store. Might I recommend our specialty honey? I'm sure it'll suit your tastes. Honey's a weird food. It's not really a food, it's a condiment, ingredient, whatever you want to call it. It's just odd to me. I've been spotting those bizarre monsters near the ancient battlefield recently. They kind of look like they were wearing armor. Maybe they're some rich person's runaway pets? Weird. Anyway, now I talk to Tolta. Hello, Chief Tolta. Welcome back to Armorica SSS. What can I do for you today? Well, we have a bit of a strange question for you. Would there happen to be someone staying in the shed by your apiary? As a matter of fact, there is. About 3 or 4 days ago, a man suddenly came by and asked if he could lodge there for a while. I believe his name was Gable. We were right. But wait, why the shed of all places? Because I mean, the inn's an obvious place. He's not that incompetent. Why the shed of all places? Well, naturally, I offered to arrange a room at the inn for him. But he said he wanted the most inconspicuous place possible, which it is definitely more inconspicuous than the inn. I'll give him that. He wouldn't tell me the details of his circumstances, so I assumed he's in a dire situation. I never guessed it would be all of you guys who were looking for him. Is he an accessory to a crime or something of that nature? No, nothing like that. Lloyd, we should probably explain everything. That'd be for the best, yeah. And then we explain everything. So he's a former Diet member. And what's more, he faked a stay in the hospital to avoid punishment for tax evasion. Now that you mention it, I think I recall seeing a photo of him in the Crossbell Times. Not to worry though, this request isn't related to his dubious history with Mira. Would it be alright for us to speak with him directly, Chief Tolta? We aren't sure why yet, but he's been avoiding Armand and Ellie since they started looking for him. I suppose it would be alright. Until recently, I was on bad terms with my son as well, and it's almost like we were the ones that solved that. Our problem was that we weren't communicating. I wouldn't wish for anyone to end up in the same situation we were in. Not if I can help it. Thank you, Chief Tolta. Not at all. Follow me, everyone. This is Chief Tolta. Might I have a moment of your time? There are some people here who wish to speak with you. Exclamation mark. Could you please tell them to leave? I know I'm being unreasonable, but I don't want to see anyone right now. Please settle down. The people who came to see you aren't your son and his wife. Wait, how did you... Mr. Gable, can you hear me? This is the Crossbell Police Special Support Section. The police? What do you want with me? We don't mean to alarm you. We're here about a request we received from Armand and Ellie. Oops. What? We have no intention of bringing you out by force, nor do we have the authority to. If you insist upon it, we'll walk away empty-handed and explain the situation to Armand and Ellie. But before that, will you at least hear us out? He unlocked the door. Yeah, let's head inside. Hello, Mr. Gable. It's been a while. You've led us around on quite a chase. Not really, though. We kind of came directly here after talking to one person. Well, congratulations. You found your man. Was he at least sleeping on the loft? You said my son and wife have been looking for me? Son and his wife have been looking for me? Save your breath. I won't meet with them no matter what you say. Why are you being so stubborn about this? That much should be obvious. My son, Armand, despises me. I'm sure of it. You think he despises you? Care to elaborate on that? I was involved in all manner of corruption when I was part of the Diet. Status, power, and Miro were my sole motivations. To attain them, I turned my back on my family. My wife wasn't pleased, but she busied herself with raising Armand to distract from her discontent. I slipped deeper into my licentious ways, until one day, I did something no married man with a child should ever do. Kill the child. While my wife was out of the house, I invited my mistress in, while my son was still there. How could you? Damn, no wonder the two of you split up. It didn't take long for my wife to find out. She left me and took Armand back with her to Liberal. I don't know what they've been through since then, but I'm sure the divorce has caused them both much pain. I mean, I imagine what led to the divorce caused pain, but I imagine post-divorce they probably felt a little better. I, on the other hand, was actually reinvigorated when all was said and done. The day I signed the divorce papers, I invited another woman to come fill the empty space in my estate. I mean, he at least is self-aware now. He's grown a lot as a person. That's quite the story. A pretty damn skeezy one, too. I guess you couldn't keep it in your pants. Much in the same way you cannot keep your mouth shut, Randy. He's not wrong. My son has every right to hate my guts. To top it off, I swore loyalty to the former Speaker of the Diet, Hartman. But as soon as my tax evasion came to light, he tossed me aside like I was nothing. Well, yeah, because, I mean, as you could tell from him bringing a mistress to his house and not doing it somewhere else, Gable was incompetent. He was lucky. Well, not incompetent, but, he was questionably competent. But as soon as my tax evasion came to light, he tossed me aside like I was nothing because you were nothing. You shouldn't have trusted him, obviously. The truth is, I should be behind bars, just like he is. As fate would have it, all I lost was my seat in the Diet. After all the despicable things I've done, how could I ever look my son in the eye? Oh, Gable. You don't know Gable very well. It's a weird sentence. At least we have the full story now. May I say something? What is it? What could you possibly have to say after all that? He's gonna say your son has a child. Let me be clear. I don't condone what you put your wife and son through all those years ago. I especially don't approve of all the ways you abused your position in the Diet. However, based on everything we've heard so far, there's no denying that you regret your actions. I agree. You've come to terms with your mistakes. Anyone would be able to see that you've paid your dues. As such, There is no reason to use your guilt as an excuse to avoid your family. But that's not all. From the impression I got, Armand doesn't resent you in the slightest. He was too young to form the emotions of resentment. What? We met with him and his wife, Ellie, when they requested us to help find you. They're a loving family. You could see it in their smiles. Do you know what Armand said to us back when we accepted the request? I want to show him the happy family we've built together. Him, his beloved, and your newborn grandchild. Yo, it would be such a bad twist because it wouldn't fit the tone that they're going for. But it'd be such a twist if they decide he's actually, this is what a happy family looks like. In your face, old man. And then just leaves. It'd be a bad twist. It doesn't fit the intention of redemption, but... Exclamation mark. Exactly. Lloyd's telling the truth. They were so sweet on each other that my teeth were starting to hurt. If he really hates you the way you think he does, I sure couldn't see it past all the sappiness. Haha, you never know though. If his poker face is half as good as mine, it could all be an act. Maybe he's waiting until you're alone to take you out. I would take you out right now if you speak another word. I will take you out right now. Listen, the point, Gable, is that your son grew up to be a pretty stand-up kind of guy. We'd appreciate it if you could take our word for it. How about it, Mr. Gable? Could you find it in you to see your family? And he turns around to look at the boxes. Fine. How could I not, after everything you just said? Really? You're sure? I'm done lying. Now bring them here before I change my mind. Sure thing. I'll call them over right away. We should lock him in. Oh no, only Lloyd's going. Good. We can't let him run away. Lloyd hurriedly got in contact with Long Lao. Armand and Ellie were then told to come to Armorica village as soon as possible. The SS agreed to wait outside the shed so that Gable could mentally prepare himself. My father is in this shed? As hard as it may be to believe, yes, he's in there. It would be such a bad twist if it actually wasn't their father, but it wouldn't make sense. We spoke with him, and he promised to meet you both. Thank you so much. I can't imagine why he'd be hiding in a place like this, but we're in your debt regardless. I mean, you don't know your father at all, but isn't it wonderful, Armand? I'm finally going to meet my father-in-law. We'll have to apologize for not inviting him to our wedding. Oh, my dearest Ellie, how can it be that your soul is so pure? Your heart is as untainted as fresh snow. And that, my dear, is why I love you so. Oh, Armand. Get in the shed. Sorry. Sorry about that. You say sorry too, Armin. Bounces. Sorry. Goo. Good job, Armin. I don't think I can take much more of this. Neither can I. Moving on. Gable is waiting inside for you. Take as long as you need. Thank you, sir. We will. Let's go in, Ellie. Of course, Armand. I mean, they're technically probably still in their honeymoon phase because they haven't been married for that long. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a screenshot because it's gonna be funny looking. Ah! Is that really you, father? Haha, it's been so long. Yes. Shoot. I suppose it has, Armand. Around 15 years, in fact. Okay. It's a pretty funny image. And she must be Pleased to meet you, sir. I'm Armand's wife, Ellie, your new daughter-in-law. I see. It does my heart good to know that my son has found a fine young lady like yourself. Oh, that's very sweet of you. And in your arms, is that... Yes, this is our son, Father. Armin, why don't you say hello to Grandpa? Goo goo. Good boy, Armin. Say, Armand, I know I've given you and your mother more grief than could ever be forgiven. I'm not sure what you mean. But more importantly, look at this, Father. Armin's eyes shine like pure sapphires. They're just like Ellie's, as clear and beautiful as the midday sky. Yes, but he has your ears, Armand. Oy, he has your ears. What a weird thing to be like, yeah, he has your ears. Every time I see them, I just want to eat them up. Oh, Ellie, for as long as I live, I'll never let you go. Nor I, Armand. We'll be together forever. I mean, they've been together for maybe a few years, so you never know. Sob. Father, what's wrong? Perhaps he's not feeling well, Armand. I mean, how could he feel well? He's been sleeping in a shed for the last few days. Sob. No, I'm fine. Truly, I am. What is the sound of a sob? Like a... I don't know. Thank you so much, everyone. Because of you, I was able to reunite with my father and introduce him to our new family. He looked so happy about it, too. I'm glad we could help out. Speaking of Mr. Gable, is he staying in the shed? Yes, he said he needed some time to think before he heads home later. Oh, just... Okay, one second. I pushed the button, but I didn't read it yet. We were partway through a conversation when, all of a sudden, he turned around and refused to look at us face to face. I paused the recording for a second because I had to go do something, but I pressed the button slightly before I unpaused it, so it's gonna look a little weird there. I wonder what that was all about. Which is refused to look at us face to face. I wonder what that was all about. Could he have been? I guess even corrupt Diet members can still shed a tear every now and then. How very edifying. They grow up so fast, don't they? Haha, no need to worry, you two. I think what they mean to say is that he'll be alright. So, what do you plan to do now? Well, I've been looking forward to reuniting with my father for so long. More than anything, I want us to find a way to stay in touch. I doubt your mother is going to take it very well. But I'd like for him to come and visit us in Liberal someday. We'll be wishing you the best of luck with that. He doesn't seem to have any plans to return to the Diet, so I think he'll agree to it sooner or later. Now I have another reunion to look forward to. Isn't that right, my dearest Ellie? Of course, my darling Armand. Ever since we first held our child, we've sworn to give him a life full of happy memories like today. He definitely didn't remember this because he was asleep for 95% of it, but... Little Armin met his grandfather. I can hardly wait to give him some brothers and sisters, too. You, me, and a house full of wonderful, lovable children. Together, we'll become the greatest family on the entire continent. Oh, Ellie, I love you so. And I, you, Armand. Gross. I could have gone without hearing that last part. So, we're cool here, right? Request complete? Indeed. I don't think we could ever repay you for making all of this possible. We'll be returning home to Liberal soon. Thank you again for all of your help. Safe travels. You know, Ellie, we already came all this way. What do you say we take in the sights? They're so casual. That sounds wonderful, Armand. Oh, I mean, if they mean in Armorica, not Crossbow in general. Haha, oh, Ellie. Hee hee, oh, Armand. Goo Goo. I like the Goo Goo Baby. Goo Goo Baby's cute. The other two are kind of gross. Too affectionate. Those two never let up, do they? That they don't. In a way, I'm almost jealous of what they have. Seeing them like that made me want to visit my parents, who live separately. You too, Ellie. I was just thinking I should probably spend some time with my mom soon. Especially considering your sister's in hospital. You kids have my thanks as well. I'll look after Gable until he's ready to return to the city. Don't mention it, Chief Dolta. Thanks for your help. We should get going too. And away we go. Oh, father, where art thou? I'm assuming... Ooh. Such a fine young man. Sob. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any other people to talk to. I'm just going to very quickly check, though. Yeah, nothing new there. Nothing new there. There's not going to be anything new there here. After we see the sights here, we'll be returning to Liberal. I could thank you all 1,000 times, and it still wouldn't be enough to fully express my gratitude. Nevertheless, thank you for reuniting me with my father once more. Our little Armin is so happy he got to meet his grandpa. Isn't that right, Armin? Goo goo. I kind of hope that character shows up in, like, Reverie or something. It's like Reverie or Cold Steel 4 or something. We meet like a 4-year-old named Armin. I don't actually know the timelines, so I don't know if he'd be 4 or if he'd be younger or older by the time of Cold Steel 4 or Reverie, but he would not be a baby anymore because it's at least a few years in the future. So now I have a bunch of people to talk to. That's a good way to get to the chest. Sadly, I already got it. Why is the sun gotta be so... Oh, this is the drunkard. It's the drunkard. Finally. Why is the sun gotta be so damn bright? What's it trying to do? Kill me? I'm a night owl for Ursula's sake. This is the drunkard. And him being named Bacchus makes sense. It fits his character of being a drunk. Heh. That pork soup earlier was pretty finger-licking good, except generally you don't eat soup with your fingers. I hope this reconstruction stuff lasts forever if it means we can eat like that every day. I can't wait to eat at the soup kitchen again tonight. I wonder what we're gonna have. Yeah, like I know the intent behind finger-licking good. It's just referencing, I think it's basically referencing the KFC thing, because I think that's the only place that originated. I had some pork miso soup earlier. Gave me a much needed jolt of energy. Haha, work's progressing a lot more smoothly thanks to that. I have nothing to customize, right? Because I already did all of them, yeah. And I decided not to upgrade his because that would be minus 10 evasion. And I'm keeping him eternally at 100% from now on. Or agility, not evasion. So I talked over there, I'll talk over here. Oh, he's the only one still alive, because the rest of them should all be dead. Like, he's the only one that isn't dead. Walt, everyone. Dino. Huh? Oh, the SSS. Are all of the Saber Vipers still in the hospital? One of them should be dead. Yeah, all of them but me. Koki got the worst of it. They even had to put him in a different room from the rest of the gang. At least, because Koki was the one that dented the door that is made of metal, at least he's in a worse condition. At least they were consistent. I'm sorry to hear that. I shouldn't have brought it up. Sniffle. You can take your sympathy and shove it. They're the ones hurting right now. It's not fair that I'm the only one who got out okay. Sniffle. Damn it. Why'd this have to happen? We should give him some space, Lloyd. Yeah, you're right. ... Now that I've had my fill, it's time for me to get back to scavenging. Thanks for all the help, guys. This kid is so weird. Like, he's constantly, like, scavenging and stuff. Basically empty. Just him. Sounds like everyone loved the pork miso soup Azul made. Not to be sappy or anything, this whole neighborhood soup kitchen idea really makes my heart swell. See, look at the positivity of these guys. They're like, hey, working together is nice. Oh, hey there, SSS. So, about the whole raid fiasco, what's your guys' take on it? Straight to the point. There are still a lot of unanswered questions as to what the motive was. All we can say for sure at the moment is that the Red Constellation was the one responsible. As for who was pulling the strings behind them, the Imperial government is an obvious culprit to jump to, being their most recent employer. Yeah, that's been the word on the street for a while now. You ask me, that doesn't explain why they made a sudden retreat. But hey, what do I know? That reminds me, you guys fought back Wald in his demonized form, yeah? Yep, that was definitely him alright. He put up a tough fight too. I take it he's doped up on that crazy drug, huh? I mean, a pill that turns you into a monster? Where in the hell does a guy even find something like that? We've been wondering that ourselves. There's an investigation underway, but nothing about his supplier has come to light. Huh, so the cops don't know jack either. Nothing I hate more than being out of the loop. To make matters worse, business has been in the crapper this week too. Now that the state's all worried up over public safety. Then there's the neighborhood. I've been living in downtown for a bit now, and I've never seen it like this. Maybe it's time to pack our bags and find somewhere else to set up shop. I'm sorry to hear that, actually. Yes, I'm sorry to hear that the black market arms dealer has to move. Can't say I don't get it. Sometimes you just have to shove off and move on. You've got some rock solid connections, so I'm sure you'll land on your feet one way or another. Yeah, well, I'm not out the door just yet. I've got to think about what's best for Jingo too. Won't be long before I have to start planning out our future. I figured out Evergreen here. Emerald is one of the legendary fish. Stellar Pendulum you can purchase. I don't know Midnight Delight. It seems like it should be a recipe, but the fact that these require the legendary fish that you can only get one of, I don't really feel like it's worth the trade. Just keeping them is more interesting, even if I don't use them for anything. Yeah, there's never been anything especially valuable here. Like, it'd be cheaper to get them here, for sure. But you can only get one, and you have to catch the legendary fish to get it, so it's not the best. Quartz. Actually, if I can get Headsman's Noodles, Intimidation 422 would be an upgrade over Petrify. So 422, if I can figure out what Headsman's Noodles are, it could be a variant of this. Who makes it the best? Randy or Noel? Heavenly Noodles, Peddlers, Cautionary Failure, still not the bad ones. Heavenly, regular, cat food. Now I'm getting all the cat food I never need. Heavenly, Peddler, Dumplings, Headsman's. So I think this is worth it, because the Petrify is not great. Dragon Vision I kind of want. I need 2 more Queen Crabs and a Sword Breaker. And it is also 4/2/2 of a different variant. That's just good general value. Like 4 and 3 of everything else is pretty good. I might actually look into these trades. But Petrify is being swapped for Intimidation because it's just better values. 19 might be more than I need, but it's still just better. I could swap that, but I don't really care. Yeah, 4 and then 3 of everything is better than Detection. And I mean, that's the only one I would swap it for. 4 and 3 of everything's better than Detection, but I need Detection on someone because I don't... Oh. Yeah. I need Detection. I could definitely swap Swordbreaker. I would swap Burn. So, but I actually no, I think I can purchase Swordbreaker. So I purchase another Swordbreaker, get a couple of Queen Crabs, then I can get Dragon Vision, which is kind of useless at this point, but because it's too late to get Analyzes. But for a New Game Plus run, if I ever did it in the distant future, if I can carry over Quartz, that would be one that I would definitely carry over. Because then I don't have to worry about analyzing stuff. And I'd have to get a Swordbreaker and 2 Queen Crabs. The other one was Shroud. Sadly, I need to keep Detection. And I don't have anyone else that I think I would equip Detection on. Though I could get it so that I could use it against bosses. That might be worth it. Trying to get Shroud so that when I'm about to fight a boss, I can swap out Detection for Shroud for better elemental values. That's probably what I'll do. And then this is where you can trade various purchasable items for unpurchasable items, or items that are not directly purchasable, but they are expensive. Yes, so I will work towards getting Shroud just for the better elemental values, and I think that's the last one here of any interest. Dragon Vision is another one that's interesting. It's not good, I think. I don't need it, but yeah, back to the talking. The whole neighborhood's busy working on the reconstruction. What do you think you're glaring at? Mama and I help too, as long as it ain't business hours. So much business going on. Looks like we've still got a lot of hard work ahead of us. Not too sure Vess is going to be alright for it though. Burp. Maybe seconds wasn't such a good idea after all, in retrospect. I should have remembered to eat in moderation. I don't assuming it was just 2 bowls of soup. I'm shocked that he got filled up with 2 bowls of soup. Because it's literally just 2 bowls of soup. Now, if it was soup and rice and a bunch of other stuff, sure. Like a bunch of filling carbs, then I would understand. But if it was just soup, a single bowl is not going to be that much, especially at a soup kitchen. I just remembered. I've been meaning to give you this. Abbas's Pom Pom Party account info. Oh yeah, I need to do this stuff. Apparently there's some point of no return for Pom Pom Party stuff soon. So if I want to do the Pom Pom Party, I have to do it. Either I have to do it already or I have to do it soon. Which I'm going to do on my own time because it's not interesting in my opinion at all. A Pom Party account. You play too, Abbas? Only if I have time to spare, of course. Send me a challenge whenever you like, if you feel so inclined. Because I can't locate it right now. I'll locate it in a second. We've still got plenty of portions left. Maybe I should bring some to Serena and Yugo. Then again, this soup is supposed to be for the reconstruction workers. Oh, I know. They can help wash the dishes in return. That should do it. I was going to check something. It was Palm Party stuff. I'll do that in a minute. Phew. It's a little later than I'd like, but I can finally take a break. I'll make sure I'm back at full steam for the rest of the afternoon. This soup is real tasty, Daddy. It sure is. I can feel the calories powering me up already. Happy. This is empty. He's a medical student. Rixio's not here. Now then, next on the schedule is deciding what to serve for tonight's soup kitchen. Oh yeah, I entered here earlier and they were helping with the soup kitchen by their stove. There must be something out there that everyone would like. No, there's nothing that every single person in the world would like. Because that's just not possible. I kind of wish there were a bunch of bottles sitting on the ground. That would have fit the character that was established as a drunk. He's not going to be here? Oh, he is. He's magically back. Oh, wait, no, he isn't the one that was over there. He just looks the exact same. They use the exact same model, so it confused me for a second. Oh, everyone seems quite satisfied with the pork miso soup. I couldn't be happier about that. Thanks for coming to make it happen. Okay. That's everyone in the downtown. So next time will be the usual. Well, I'll have to go through Nox Forest for a fight. Then it's Crossbow Police Academy, Belgard Gate, Mines, and checking between the city and Mines for Arios somewhere. Like maybe the Moon Temple. Then it will be... I don't have anyone to talk to in Armorica, so I can skip it because I've already talked to them. Then it's Tangram Gate, getting the quest, Ancient Battlefield, which will get me the fish. Once I get the necessary fish, I'll do the rest of the fishing. Before now and then, I will, on my own time, because I really don't think Palm Party stuff is interesting. Oh, there it is. I think I had to do it before she got killed. She's not dead, but I have to check. Because there was some point after which people are not available anymore, and either this is the point after which Fran is not available anymore, or she comes back later. Maybe it was before this chapter entirely. So apparently... It's the end of this day. Some of these people will no longer be available in Palm Party. Which to me implies maybe Fran will be available earlier again, but... It's either Fran will become available again, or I should have fought her earlier and I have no chance anymore. Because if I can't beat her, if she doesn't show up again, then it's not even worth trying. Sadly, there's nothing I can find. I might do it, I might not, but she's not available. Some of these people will clearly not be available shortly. And yeah, I might do that, I might not. But that will be not recorded because I don't think it's interesting and it's probably easy to find. But here's where I'm stopping for today. Next time I will be going around the outer reaches of Crossbell, talking to people and clearing a couple quests. And then it will be fishing time after that. But have a good day for today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.